Welcome to another episode, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. This individual did so much damage that the Crips and the Hoovers celebrated when he was killed. This is the story of KC.
Spent time with his dad. Large, loving, discussing the life of KC. Deshaun Barley was born on November 14th, 2002 in Los Angeles, California, to a loving mother and father. He spent a good portion of his childhood in Rosamond, which is located above Lancaster in the Antelope Valley. He'd be back and forth between the AV and LA when he wanted to spend time with his dad. Large, loving, and close-knit would be words used to describe his family dynamic. Some would say he was a mischievous child. Growing up, he enjoyed playing youth football. He naturally had a lot of energy, which translated to him excelling on the field at high school. He wound up getting sucked into his environment and got put on the Six Deuce Brims. The Harvard Park Brims are a black gang located on the west side of South Central Los Angeles, stretching from Slauson to Gage, between Western and Hoover. They started as the LA Brims and were known as the ones who went up against the Crips back in the early days of gangbanging. The Brims aren't the largest hood, but they are fearless, and the Six Deuces are primarily responsible for keeping the Brim name alive today. Over a short amount of time, KC would gain the rep as a top-level member from the set. He earned his stripes by allegedly shooting up the Hoovers and Menlos on a regular basis. They felt the alleged pressure he was applying, and he subsequently became a known face among his enemies. And it wasn't without vengeance. They were coming back and gunning for him. KC would survive being shot on multiple occasions.
He was indeed shot at quite a few times, this individual here. His name was indeed ringing on the street, KC. And we'll get into his ending and how he ended up dying the same way that many individuals in the streets end up dying. Six Deuce Brims do have a lot of staunch enemies, arch enemies, and these gangs that they are enemies with are violent gangs. And so they are known to hold their own, are the Brims. You know, they are, as he said, fearless. They take care of business. They always have. You can't take anything from them. You have to give them credit. And they have some known hitters over there. They have some riders that represent strongly and go up. Clearly, this individual was one of them, as he was putting in work on many different factions that were enemies to his hood, making him a prime target for certain hoods.
Before the age of 18, by the time he turned 19, he gained leadership status within his gang and would teach his younger homies how to dribble. In 2022, video circulated of KC leading his pack through the Slauson swap meet, showing his position as a front runner while the group follows his lead. While the Slauson swap meet is technically located in the Brims boundaries, it's frequented by many gang members from various gangs in the city on a daily basis, thus making it tricky and a potential point of conflict. Things were heating up in 2022, and there was a lot of back and forth between the Brims and the Hoovers.
Yeah, certainly. And the Slauson swap meet is a trap. It's, I go there. I've been there. I probably shouldn't even say that. I go there all the damn time, but it's very dangerous. Many different hoods, as this individual narrating the story just said, are in the Slauson swap meet. They go to the Slauson swap meet. There have been deletions inside of the Slauson swap meet, killings in the parking lot inside of the swap meet, particularly back in the days. All of these different hoods are in there, these different factions meeting up. There have been fights, squabbles. Some of them have gone viral. You've seen some of them on the internet right there in the Slauson swap meet. Different gangs are getting into it. They have security there with weapons, but this does not deter them. And you have to be careful. You have to know what you're doing if you're going to be in LA, going in certain places, particularly places like that. The Slauson swap meet is a kill zone oftentimes, and you have to dip in and get the hell out. But you probably shouldn't be going at all, particularly if you don't know what you're doing and if you're not from the area in some way. It's unfortunate that you can't even go there and shop and buy some damn clothes or whatever you're there for, but the facts are what they are. I'm just here to protect you. Be careful.
Out of all of the Brims, the Six Deuces have been the main ones who have been actively and consistently beefed with the Hoovers. In past years, the Six Deuce Brims have pushed the 5'9" Hoovers off Vermont, narrowing the 5'9's territory even further, cornering them off up against the freeway. Some have said that KC let his new status get to his head. He began to pop it heavy on social media, at the 6-0s, 7-4 and H.A. Hoovers, and the Menlos, dissing them every chance he got. He taunted his deceased enemies various times. On the 6 Deuces Brims Hood Day, KC's customized Lotto written on it. Lotto was a love member from the Menlos, and when Casey said, "Go pick that guy up," that's who he was referring to. The disrespect was heavy, and his enemies were honing in on him. One night, the Hoovers came to Harper Park allegedly trying to kill him, and were unsuccessful, but the bullet nearly grazed his eye. KC was doing a lot on the internet, but he wasn't hiding behind a phone screen. KC would lead the charge and have his young homies posted on Vermont in broad day, and would always make himself visible. At this point, KC was a trophy, and there were a few hoods that were allegedly bloodthirsty to collect. On April 13th, 2022, at about 7.
Now, again, of course, a trophy would be, a prime target. Someone that if you delete them, if you take them out, you're going to get a lot of strikes for it. Like, man, he deleted so-and-so. He killed so-and-so, like killing a celebrity or King Von or Tupac or whatever. So someone who has a major reputation in their hood is a reputable figure in their hood. If you take this individual out, then you took out a trophy. You took out, you're going to get even more respect, even more stripes for taking out someone. You didn't just take out a nobody. You took out the OG. You took out a big name over there. So this individual is saying that this is what KC materialized into over there in his faction, a trophy. He was doing so much online, putting in work, what have you, that shooting at all of these different factions, that people begin to hone in on him. He became a trophy. Like, if whoever gets him, whoever takes him down, is going to get a lot of credit. Hopefully we get to a day and a time where you're a trophy and you get a lot of credit because you cure cancer.
3:35 p.m. KC was at the AutoZone on Florence and Normandy. He was allegedly followed out of the store, and when he was settling in his vehicle, a black suspect ran up and shot him multiple times. Witnesses then seen the black male get into a black sedan and speed away. KC was transported to the hospital, where he later died. He was only 19 years of age.
For another shooting, this one in South LA.
And Desmond Shaw is live over the scene now in Sky 9. Des?
Pat Juan, we are at the corner of Florence and Normandy in the parking lot of this AutoZone. That's where the shooting took place. LAPD says that someone came along and shot the victim in this car right here. Looks like a newer BMW, and the victim was shot multiple times, transported to the hospital now in unknown condition, and the suspect got away, fled in a black sedan. Unclear the description, further description of the vehicle or which direction they went, but LAPD investigating this, looking for any other evidence that they can find.
After his murder, the Hoovers and Crips had a field day on Instagram. Treyway from the H.A. Hoovers took the liberty to post several stories mocking his death. The Menlos had their satisfaction, considering KC would diss their fallen homie on numerous occasions. The Rolling 30s even joined in on the festivities, with several members posting about KC. And although the murder occurred in H.A. gangster territory, word spread in the city that allegedly the Hoovers or Menlos were behind the murder. At the funeral, KC's female acquaintance showed up, and it caused a flare-up. She was from the 107 Hoovers, who are enemies to the Brims. She showed up wearing red either as a disguise or respect for KC. Either way, she was spotted, and the whispering began. The Brims were allegedly sliding heavy for KC, and allegedly there was get back that same night. KC would be remembered as a main factor for the 6 Deuce Brims, and was someone that his younger homies looked up to. He was also a loving family member, and leaves behind many relatives. His name is still being honored to this day.
Indeed. Rest in peace to that young man. Rest in peace to KC, 19 years old, man. Shame. We have to be careful. We out in these streets younger and younger. I was in the streets at 12 years old, gang banging, got shot with a 12 gauge at 12 years old. So I was heavy into the streets at that young age, at the tender age of 12. And a lot of individuals in these gangs start very young. This individual was still a baby. even with all of this work and all of this that he was putting in, guided, misguided, misled, misdirected. So yeah, he may have been a shooter from his hood putting in work. And, they caught up to him. Apparently someone knew he was there at the AutoZone. Whoever it was did it. I don't freaking know. But apparently someone knew that he was going to be at the AutoZone or knew that he was there, followed him, knew the car, whatever. They pushed up on the car and squeezed off and ended his life, deleted him at 19 years old. This is what the street says. This is what the streets are going to bring you, bro. No one gets out. No one escapes unscathed. No one escapes successfully. No one. They all of these stories have a tragic ending. And if you continue to be in the streets, your story, your ending will be tragic as well. These are just the facts. So get out. Again, rest in peace to that individual. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free, people.